in November 24th, 1971. A quiet man in a black suit walked into an airport in Portland, Oregon, and bought a one-way plane ticket under the name Dan Cooper. He looked ordinary, calm, polite, almost forgettable. But a few hours later, he would commit one of the most famous unsolved crimes in history, and then disappear forever. But before we start, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and share, and let's start. The man boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 headed to Seattle. The flight was short, only about 30 minutes. He took seat 18C, ordered a bourbon and soda, and waited. Then he handed a small note to the flight attendant. At first she thought it was just a phone number, but the man leaned closer and quietly said, "Miss, you better look at that note. I have a bomb." Inside the note was a chilling message. The man demanded $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes. If his demands weren't met, he would blow up the plane. To prove he was serious, he briefly opened his briefcase. Inside were red sticks of dynamite and wires. The flight attendant immediately informed the cockpit. The plane kept flying, while authorities on the ground scrambled to respond. When the plane landed in Seattle, the passengers had no idea what was happening. They were quietly released. Then the FBI delivered exactly what the hijacker wanted: $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes. The mysterious man calmly collected the money and gave the crew new instructions. They were to fly again, this time toward Mexico. The plane took off into the cold night sky. Only a few crew members remained on board at around 8,000 feet. The hijacker ordered them all into the cockpit and closed the curtain behind him. Moments later, a warning light appeared. The rear stairs of the aircraft had been lowered, somewhere over the dark forests of the Pacific Northwest. The man known as D.B. Cooper jumped out of the plane with a parachute and $200,000 in stolen cash. The FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in American history. They searched forests, rivers, mountains. Nothing, no body, no parachute, no trace of the man. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. 9 years later, a young boy digging in the sand near the Columbia River made a strange discovery: 3 bundles of cash, rotting, but still identifiable. The serial numbers matched the ransom money from the hijacking, but the rest of the money and D.B. Cooper himself were never found. So what really happened? Some believe Cooper died during the jump. Others believe he survived. More than 50 years later, the mystery remains unsolved. Who is D.B. Cooper? Did he die in the wilderness? Or did he pull off the perfect crime? One thing is certain: he is the only skyjacker in history who was never caught.